Hey everybody, Justin Moss here. I thought I'd try something a little different today. I've been posting these little sped up drawings on YouTube for a while, and generally they don't have any voiceover. Normally I post these warm-up sketches. Often I do without actually talking as I do them. And then I do longer tutorials that I post over on my Patreon site. But I thought, if I'm going to post these to YouTube, maybe I'll see what it's like if I do a couple voiceovers. So this is what I'm doing with Katherine Heigl. I drew this a couple weeks ago, and I've sped it up. The actual drawing is about 20 minutes long. This one is, I think, just over 5. So sped up about 4 times speed. And when I do these quick warm-up drawings, what I'm really kind of trying to do is, well, obviously get warmed up. So the first things I do when I start a day in the studio, and I often work on a sort of a cream paper with a red or a blue pencil. I just like how it feels, which is kind of a nice sort of starting point for my day. So the first thing I do when I do a drawing like this is, as you saw at the beginning, sort of block in an overall shape so that I know that I'm going to get it on the page right. And then I just start looking for the key points in the face. So obviously the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and where they fit within the confines of the structure of that face. Keeping it really, really general to specific. So, you can see I haven't put any real details in yet. Start off by, the overall shape, and then kind of making sure that the features are in the right place. Here I'm just really kind of loosely trying to follow along with the basics of the hair. When you're drawing a portrait, things like ears and hair are not crucial to likeness, obviously. The most important thing is the overall size and shape of the head, and then the features themselves. And really the important part with features is the placement of the features. So where they are is more important than how they are drawn. But obviously, the more successful you get on all of that stuff, the more successful the portrait will be. So here I'm just starting to apply a little bit of detail, working out those eyes. The thing about working with a single color, whether I'm working in red or blue, is that I can't fall back on, okay, now I'm going to work with a 6B. So I want a darker line. I'm going to grab a softer lead. Here I kind of have to do it all with one pencil. Which is kind of nice. It makes me take some of the guesswork out. So just trying to get a little bit of the form here, adding in some lines. When you see me take a little break like that, I'm almost certainly sharpening that pencil. So you'll see I'll come back just as I'm starting to do details. I'll come back with a sharper pencil. Those little 2mm leads you can sharpen with there's tiny little sharpeners that you can buy for them. And that helps, especially when I'm into the detail kind of stuff. So really love the way that her nose is in this. A lot of times when I do the warm-up sketches, I try not to do open mouths, just because working on teeth can be quite difficult when you're trying to do it quickly. The key with teeth, especially when you're doing something simply, is less is more. So you see, I'm just mapping out the overall shape of the teeth. I'm putting in some very, very light lines of where the actual teeth are, and sort of darkening the lips around it, and then just very carefully trying to get the bottom line of the teeth in there, and then just a little bit of a soft edge for the top of the tooth. But I don't actually put any lines between the teeth. So think about your subject as wearing a mouth guard, right? Like hockey players wear. Less is more. You don't want to put in all those little details because our teeth kind of meld into one thing when we're looking at them. So again, just adding some values, just trying to get a bit more sort of volume to this thing. At this point, most of the drawing is kind of blocked in there. So it's more about just, finishing it to a point where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's done. So, and really, as I said, these are just for me. I've got stacks of sketchbooks like this. I probably don't do one every day. I'd like to do one every day, but it's probably more like, here I'm sharpening the pencil again. It's probably more like, I would say 4 or 5 a week is probably where I end up. Sometimes I feel like just doing these all day. It's a sort of Zen thing for me. So especially if I'm in the middle of a large commission and a piece for commercial purposes or whatever, a lot of times, I get an art director that tells me you got to do this or you have to do that. These are just very sort of freeing and sort of fun to play around with. So, yeah, anyway, as I said, just thought I'd try something a little different today. I don't know if this was interesting or not for you guys. But if you did enjoy it, maybe just leave me a note in the comments there, and I'll see if I can do some voiceovers on some of the other videos. If you have specific questions, maybe I can answer it in an upcoming video. And for now, here you go. There's my sketch of Katherine Heigl. Yeah, and that's about it. I hope everybody is doing well. Bye for now.